people? How y'all doing? Today we're doing something different. I'm going to be reacting to Lagacy's video, his Serpent rant. And for those watching on the playback, shout out to the playback crew, I'm going to try my best to start the reaction at 5 minutes in. Now, technically, I've seen the first couple of minutes of this, but even that, I wasn't actually watching because I knew that I was going to react to this. Just had to reach out to Lags, so it was like, auto playing that that part of it when I was, grabbing the link to do all this. So today we're gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. So the 5 minute marker, you guys, the 5 minute marker. This will give plenty of time to kind of get everything set up. Welcome everyone in. BS about a little bit. Maybe take care of a little bit of slap action. And then at the 5 minute mark, it's go time. And I'm so excited for this because balance, champion balance, or any type of game balance, this is right up my alley. And I wasn't planning on making any sort of content about this myself. And usually I would be the one to make some kind of content about this. And I'm so happy that my good buddy Lags did instead. Because now we get to see what Lags has to say. And yeah, and then kind of figure it out from there. 5 minutes, that's way longer than most of us need. Dysentery Joe. Oh my god. Okay, first off, we got a double today. Alan, Deej, thank you both very much. Appreciate you both. Thank you. So excited for the stream, Red Dog. Me too, dude. I'm pumped. Listen. Actually, hold on. Let me read Alan's and Deej's messages first. Alan with the hashtag bald cap game. Okay, of course. Why would I expect anything else? Hashtag bald eyes. Hashtag justice for King Tree. Hi Baldy. Almost done with Noel. Then Shocker. Then Nameless Grandmaster for path number 4. Dude, yeah, that is the home stretch. Definitely. Awesome, man. Yeah, Noel is a brutal one too. So the fact that you're about to wrap that up, then yeah, man, the run. I mean, Grandmaster's tough too, of course, but I don't know. For me personally, the Grandmaster, and this kind of goes for every game that I play, even when you're facing a great challenge, as long as it's the last challenge, it's almost like a relief when you get there, even though you're setting up for something big, So yeah, you're right there, man. Just about done. Good luck with the finish. Deej with the 2 as well, saying I missed a slap today. Deej, no you did not. That is a double slap. We got touching super chats. That equals multi-slap. That enables the multi-ball if this was pinball. So multi-slap. Thank you both. Crud, I forgot what I was going to say before I went to read those messages. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I love all parts of games. Well, maybe I shouldn't say all parts, but I love most parts of games. But dude, just talking about games, talking about the what could be, what should be aspect of games, that is one of my favorite parts. And that's exactly what this is. We have no control. Players have absolutely no control. We can try our best to influence the developers, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. And maybe, I mean, I would imagine they'd be listening to some of these convos, even if it didn't have an impact on Serpent, it may have an impact on the next champ that this is a discussion about, So we'll see. Things could change with Serpent. Things could change in the future that we're unaware of. So I'm out of revives. That Silver Centurion sucks, and Noel ain't too bad. But I love the Grandmaster. If I could just do that fight, I would. Oh, totally. Yeah. You want to nerf somebody? Check the tweets up, buddy. Okay. Well, Maximus, we got to be quick because I said 5 minute mark. And so we have to start very, very soon. Static also said over 2 saying, hi, I'm here for the Kabam Bashing Fest. Oh, well, I kid. Static. Good to have you here, dude. It should be a fun time. Maximus, let me see. What is this? 'This? . , 'This? 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 good old Ebony Maw coming through. Can't crit that man. Can't hit that man. Okay, it is the 5-minute marker, so it's time. Let's get into it. The Serpent Rant. This is a video by Lagacy, who... Lags, did I already say what's up to you? I saw you in the chat. Sometimes I do that. I see the name and don't say what's up. But what's up, buddy? Good to have you here for this. Let's get into it, huh? Let's get into it. Here we go. Let me just check audio levels. Usually about here is good. You guys will have to let me know if the audio is good once the video is actually playing. But let's see. Got the sick intro here. This is the White Mummy intro, I believe, right?
Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for quite the video. I have never in...
I was gonna say, is that in Static? Did you just donate to Lags? Dude, so generous. All right, sorry, interrupted way too fast.
My life made a video like this, but here we go. I don't even know where I want to begin, but
Let it out,
today's video
bud.
is all going to be about this guy right here, Serpent. And you might be wondering why my webcam is on this side when it's usually on that side. Trust me, it will make sense shortly. So let's go ahead and get started just tackling the main issue, which is the rebalance post for Serpent and Destroyer. So let's just talk about Destroyer real quick. He's not changing. Simple as that. Overall, we are happy where the Destroyer has landed and we're not making any changes. I think Destroyer could use a little bit of love on offense. But
Big agree.
That's not the point of today's video.
Honestly, I think he could... I don't know, man. I think he needs a little bit of love all around. I don't think necessarily defense. He needs like a great lift off or something, because nodes could come in. And I know this is not what the video is about. Lag said it, but like... Dude, I really wish Destroyer was just a bit stronger. Anyway, thank you for the raid, guys. Hashtag buff Serpent raid. Wow.
Today's video is all about Serpent. So let's read this first. That's a good starting point. And then I don't know what's next, but let's start here. So it's just from the MCOC team. So I don't know who exactly is writing this. The Serpent, true to his title as the God of Fear, was designed to be a punishing defender requiring both skill and... Hold up. Oh, right. That's where I have the first and biggest issue with this. Excuse me, skilled gameplay?
Didn't even get one sentence in.
This should just be deleted. Yeah, skilled gameplay is not required when fighting Serpent. It has nothing to do with anything when fighting him. So that should just be deleted. The right combination of RPG abilities and counters to counter his wide range of threats. Okay, that's more accurate. Yeah, you need a good counter, and with combinations of countering for his multiple defensive abilities, because there's many of them.
There really are. I'm gonna kind of say something throughout this, probably, that I kind of brought up in a different chat, that I feel like Serpent is not even comparable to other defenders. He's more comparable to the Collector boss in 5.2. If you take away like the Bane node from the Collector in 5.2, and then just do like a comparison of like the laundry list of abilities that the two have, and how punishing they are when either of them pops a special, and how it feels like there's not very many ways to counter. Dude, that's what he feels like. He feels closer to an end chapter boss. Not like the new ones that we get today that have all like the fancy new mechanics that are actually pretty player friendly, but like the annoying old school end of chapter boss like the Collector. That's how he feels to me. But okay, let's continue. So this is about the point that I got up to Lagacy's video the first time I was watching it, I think, or maybe it was like 30 seconds longer. But yeah, I'm excited to see what else Lags has to say here.
Many of the Serpent's threats translate well as an attacker, such as his easy access to True Focus, the powerful death immunity buff, and his signature ability as a ramp-up champion with favorable matchups against a handful of potent tech defenders. We're happy with how the Serpent has landed as an attacker. I have no problem with him as an attacker. I think he's perfectly fine as an attacker. No problem with that at all.
Don't think anyone does.
With his aggressive defensive target, we were expecting the Serpent to make an immediate impact in both our PvP metas, Battlegrounds and Alliance War. By injecting dex and defense with a combo of cosmic threats, power gain, death immunity, and pierce. Hold on, there's more. There's more cosmic threats, but okay. You're only gonna list a couple, sure.
Dude, honestly, the oh god. Death immunity, pierce, and power gain, these three that are listed. It's such a brutal combo, dude. It is such a brutal combo.
Over time, as players identify new counters and strategies to fight Serpent, new counters and new strategies, yeah, those don't really exist. We've already figured out how to fight Serpent. It's very few ways to do it and very few counters. We're seeing his performance as a defender stabilize at a strong but healthy level. Baloney. Absolute
Oh, hit him with the baloney lags.
baloney, especially the last two Battlegrounds metas. The nodes specifically made Serpent easily the most busted defender in the game. Healthy? Healthy level? That is laughable. Laughable. Specifically, we were happy to see that Symbiote Supreme and Wiccan. Okay, yeah, those are two champs you rarely ever see in decks before Serpent was in the game.
Lax was just dumbfounded at Symbiote Supreme and Wicked. He's like, I don't want to play these guys. You can just see it. You can see the gears turning his head of like, what are you talking about, dude? Symbiote Supreme and Wicked? Come on, man.
And now you want both those champions, and we only have 30 champions in a deck. You want us to have Symbiote Supreme and Wiccan in there to counter one champion. Okay. Okay.
That's the thing, man, is like it's not a problem that like there's counters to this guy, right? But not only are they very like few counters, that's a Battlegrounds deck that you have 30 champions in, right? What about when you're playing Arena and you just throw in 3 random champs that the community for the longest time has called bad champions arena fodder? What happens then? You okay? Well, I guess that's a wrap, dude. You just came up against an end chapter boss in arena, and I guess you're not using Symbiote Supreme or Wiccan, or I know there's others too, but still. Anyway.
Saw increased usage over time to combat the Serpent and his unique combo of threats and damage. Players comfortable using America Chavez and Kushala. Now, these are two champions that are in most decks and have been in most decks, so that's fine. And they are, I'd say, two of the best Serpent counters. Also continue to thrive in this matchup. Yeah, probably the two best. No wonder they thrive. But even Kushala, who's called out here as one of the best options in one of the last metas, she wasn't that good for it. Hulkling was better. While we expect the Serpent to remain a high-performing defender, we're happy with how his performance as a defender has passed so far. We won't be making any changes. Whoa. What?
Oh, no.
Dude, if there was ever in the history of the Rebalance program time for a champion to be changed, it is now. It is Serpent.
I agree. Hit him with the baloney again, Lex.
I genuinely lost. I don't know if I've lost all faith, but most. And I had a lot. I have lost genuinely most of my faith in the balance team. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. How out of touch are you? Okay, so that's where we're gonna start. There's a lot of things I want to say. First of all, after this came out, I didn't even realize right when it came out. I was so busy yesterday doing home renovations and stuff. After I had made some videos and streamed that day, I was off my phone all night, and so I didn't realize that this had come out. And I was shocked. I was in Brian's stream, and I was like, "Wait, Serpent's Rebalance came out, and he wasn't changing." He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Dude, that is mother trucking baloney."
Yes, we got another baloney in there. I paused here just to say what I've said since this came out, which is that I'm not surprised. Although I largely agree with Lags here that there should be a change, in my opinion. I'm actually not surprised at all. I really didn't think that Serpent would get changed. Only because I know what Kabam's goal was with Serpent. I mean, we all do. It's not like some inside information. It's just I think sometimes what the devs want and what the players want, they're not exactly the same, you know? Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. This is one of those where I can kind of tell just from the beginning. Yeah, it's not. They're trying to do something here that players aren't really necessarily asking for or wanting. But it's their vision for what they like, how they want to see the game go forward, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. By the way, like sticking to their guns. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Only time will tell, I suppose. But I still personally don't think like it's been it's 6 months when the rebalancing thing comes out, right? So we've had 6 months to kind of see the impact Serpent's had on the game. I'd say on a positive note, it is bringing out some lesser used champions like Symbiote Supreme. But on the huge negative notes, I would say, again, he doesn't feel like a defender. He feels like an end chapter boss that you can just find anywhere in the game, even something like the arena, or the more negative side of things that like impacting my overall enjoyment of Battlegrounds is that if I let Serpent go through without banning him, even though I have a couple of counters, I don't have many, but I usually include a couple of counters in my deck. If I just don't draft those champs, then it makes me want to quit out of the match. Like, it makes me not even want to play that match. I play it. Honestly, the biggest reason I play it is because I remember, I think it was SSJ Spaz that said he was like really disappointed when I quit out of a match. And I was like, I kind of understand that, you know? So I play out every single match just because. But when that happens, it's like, it's such a... I would love to see the statistics of like win percentage just for drafting Serpent. Yeah, I don't know. It must not be that out of whack if Kabam is not rebalancing, but the feeling, the impact of the feeling. Oh my god, it is. It doesn't feel great. Yo, is that Vega in the chat? Huge agree with you here, Brian. I hope you're able to explain this well. Vega, you and me both. I don't know that I will. We'll see. Real quick before we continue, Brian Karajan, thank you for the 2 saying, and then they went and nerfed Kingpin. What baloney? I still don't know what that is. People brought that up yesterday, and unfortunately, I kind of forgot to check into what that all meant. People are saying nerf/bug fix. I'll look into that later. I want to stay focused on this. But, dude, thank you for the 2. And then Maximus with the bug saying, you guys are missing the point. There's a science champ they want to sell. The balance team probably isn't even getting a vote. So, I mean, yeah, that of course, there's going to be other counters that are released after this, unquestionably, right? But how does Serpent compare to Korg when he was released? What is the criteria? Is that what you're saying, Enzo? I don't know. I would say Korg can be countered by a wider range of champs, even if not like completely dominated by that wider range. Korg is dominated by few, but you can fight him with most champs as long as you know how to counter his abilities. I would say when it comes to Serpent, you cannot. Also, Korg is kind of a one-note champ. You know, he's a defender. Let's be real. The only time you can even deal somewhat respectable damage with him is with synergies, and synergies have been vetoed out of most of the contest at this point. So, yeah, I would say Serpent, not quite the same. I'm not familiar enough to know his offensive potential, but it seems like he's at least decent. and the scope of champs that you have to use to counter him just feels very narrow. All right, let's get back to hearing what Lags has to say though.
I'm trying not to swear. Like, what? I just couldn't believe it. Like, what? And so now that this has come out, already instantly last night, I had seen multiple videos for about Serpent pop up on YouTube talking about it. The first one I had seen was from Vega here, No Nerf, talking about that, and then I had seen Lagacy's here. I was watching.
I'm so curious. I didn't even know that this video was posted by Lags until people told me about it in stream. So I haven't seen what other people's perspectives are on things. I want to make that very clear. If I'm disagreeing with someone, it is unknowingly. This is purely my own opinions and based off of what Lags is saying as well. 'Cause yeah, I'd be curious to look into that stuff too. But anyway, let's continue.
His says, you know, huge L Serpent rebalancing, and I really like this video. Definitely recommend checking it out. And we're also going to take a look at some of the comments on some of these videos as well, because I find that to be very, very interesting. Also, what I did is I created my own poll of 11 hours ago. Should Serpent have gotten some sort of tune down defensively? And almost 7,000 of you guys have already voted. It hasn't even been up for half a day, and already 7,000 of you guys have casted your vote here. And
so this is again what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that Kabam is wrong for not nerfing. I'm just saying that their plan for the game and the contest, it's not exactly meshing with what players want or are asking for at this current time. Later on, maybe they're revealed as geniuses for not nerfing this guy or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, that poll, and keep in mind that a poll on Lagacy's channel has a lot of very strong players watching. Just the fact that people are voting, even like come to YouTube for MCOC content, that already means you're in like a more I don't know if advanced is the right word, but you're a bit more engaged with the game and trying to figure out the different various ways to be better at the game and things like that, right? And think about all the people who are not even checking out YouTube. Those people are almost for sure voting no. It's probably even more drastic, where like 95% of people, 95% of people voting yes, that should get nerfed. Sorry, I confused them. But either way, let's continue.
We have 112 comments as well. That is a lot of comments. Like, if we go to one of my other posts, let me see real quick how many comments it has. Like here, okay, this one has 143, but it's been out for a couple days, and that's talking about brand new champs. It's been out for 11 hours and 113 replies already, because that's how passionate people are about this. And I'm passionate about it as well, because it heavily impacts the game that we play and love every single day.
Love the passion.
So 26% of people, about of 7,000, voted no, he's perfectly balanced. And an overwhelming 74% majority voted yes, he's overpowered as fudge. And this is a very, very excellent point here. They make a change to Bullseye, but not Serpent. So this is...
Oh, they did make a change to Bullseye? I don't even remember that, dude. I've been banning Bullseye for so long. Because Bullseye is another one that I don't think is good for the game. I think he's different than Serpent, of course. But I also don't think Bullseye is good for the game. I kind of forgot about that there was a change.
This is my opinion. But, my opinion is an educated one, coming from playing this game for coming up on 8 years. I would say I have competed in more live tournaments and events for this game than anyone else in the community. I've been around for a very long time. I've been playing at a very high level for a very long time. And
Lags, do you remember we played a money match together?
in all my time playing this game, I have never seen a more toxic or unfair defender as Serpent. I don't think Bullseye even pales in comparison. I think Bullseye would probably be the second, but there's a big gap. Serpent on the top of the mountain, and Bullseye climbing his way up. And
I think they're kind of close, personally, but
yet they still changed Bullseye. And the other thing is Bullseye has a lot of counters and a lot of different ways you can counter it.
That I'll totally agree with. I think there are a lot more counters to Bullseye, unquestionably. No doubt about that.
You know, a lot of counters. A lot of the mutants counter him. There's only like a handful. Like, I can count on one hand the amount of good Serpent counters. And even the good ones, like, other than, again, America Chavez, Kushala, like, and even those champions don't counter, like, every little thing. Like, it's so much. And, like, even the champions that do counter him, like, really think about it. At the end of a Serpent fight, what happens? You know, he has a ton of power gain and healing. And usually the way you see every Serpent fight end is skilled players will save their relic and usually save some power. And once he's in that death immunity, it lasts like 8 seconds. You know, you full combo, you relic, you full combo again, and then you special just to kill so much time. And by the end of the fight, unless you're using America Chavez specifically, like, he's gonna be red. He's gonna have 3 full bars of power. So by the end of the fight, whether you kill him or you time out, like, if that fight went on any longer, you'd be dead because he'd special 3 you. Like, that shouldn't be that way. Like, without the relic, without a striker mechanic, Serpent would be such a more difficult defender. People would die to him way more. Without relics, just the relic structure, that shouldn't have such a massive impact on a defensive champion.
Whoa. I never even considered that. If we did not have relics, dude. Yeah, if we didn't have relics, Serpent would be so completely disgusting. Like, he already is. But that's so true. You know, I didn't want. I was already interrupting too much. I didn't want to interrupt Lags when he said at the end of the match what happens. But in my brain, I was thinking at the end of the match, what happens? This is what happens. Whoops. That's it. It's time to close the app, dude. It's over. Okay, but that's interesting, man. I hadn't really considered that. Like obviously relics and strikers, they make a lot of matchups easier. Just going back to the Bullseye example, yeah, just having the passive stun helps a ton. Even Korg that we were just talking about, getting the relic off, getting the striker off allows you to get in there for those light attacks without necessarily needing an intercept. But at the end of the day, even for someone like Korg, well, you just need an intercept, you know? So yeah. Anyway, let's continue. I like that point a lot, Lex.
In my mind.
Hold on. Hodges says, but we do have relics. We do. But how many champs do you like really need to rely on them and save them for that specific instance? I'm not saying that, oh, it can't be that way. I'm just saying, like, this is the example where you need it most. We've been given an additional piece of firepower, and this is where you need it by far the most. It's just interesting. That's all it is.
You know, let's read some more comments here. Serpent's crit resistance is crazy high. If that's reduced to 0, I have no problems with this. With his undexable specials, power gain, block penetration, or high health pool. Yeah, he does have crit resistance. He's got...
How high is his crit resistance? Because... Please tell me Atme works today. Please, 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 please. And I know Atme works for 90% of people, but there is a few of us that unfortunately it's not working for at the moment. Okay, good. It is working for me today. So let's see. Crit resistance. Where is this at? 15 is pretty high. That's definitely on the higher end. Killmonger has 20. Doom has 100%. Might as well be. I know you can crit him at all, but Doom's is, of course, stupidly high. 15's already pretty high, though. There's other champs that just have, like, 5. And even 5% makes a pretty big difference. Most damage comes through critical hits in this game. Because crits, not only do they, add like a crit damage multiplier on the attack, but they also pierce through resistances and armor and all that. So things are kind of heavily skewed towards critical hits. So any champ having crit resistance, like it does so much. Just bring that damage down like that. I guess because crits are already a little bit RNG reliant, if you don't crit, like if you already have some bad rolls on like not critting, any matchup can feel bad. But when you add crit resistance to that, oh man, it's brutal. And I would say some of his best counters don't have that high of crit chance. I don't think. You know what? Maybe don't quote me on that. But I don't think like the Mystic class has particularly high crit chance. Maybe strike that from the record because I'm not going to go check every champ right now. I'm not entirely sure about that. But Steatic, thank you for the 10, saying Bullseye didn't really have a hard counter until Metal Teenage Sonic Warhead. They need to drop hard counters with champs. By hard counter, I mean abilities that bypass / negate champ abilities. Serpent equals 0. Well, I don't think that's totally true. I think there's a lot of champs that if you, not necessarily a hard counter, but a lot of the, what's it called? A lot of the mutants counter just by allowing you to passively stun, or when the opponent shrugs off a stun, it then turns into a passive stun, or any sort of power control helps too. Yeah, this is amazing. We haven't even gotten to unblockable specials. Yeah, oh man. If they released 3 hard counters to him, is this okay instead of a nerf? Personally, I'd still want him to be changed. But yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to tell exactly what sort of feeling that gives off without actually getting like a hands-on experience of, okay, you've got plenty of champs available. How do you feel when you're still getting owned by him? Because like even with the counters, like that crit resist, even when you have good counters, this guy he's still gonna be fairly tanky. It's not like you're just going to be able to chew through them instantly. You'll do, unless there's like an ability, oh, now we're taking away his crit resist or something. I don't know. Either way. We'll continue on here in just a sec. Jimmy, thank you for the 5 Australian bucks, and I agree with Lags' rant. I got so frustrated at one fight, I hit my mobile on my knees so hard. I legit need surgery for a fractured patella. Whoa, dude. I'm pretty sure that's the knee bone, right? Dude. That's some intense MCO seeing right there. Oh, man. Jimmy, dude, thank you for the 5 Australian bucks. Red Dog, thank you for the bucks. And this is amazing. Oh, yeah, okay. I already read that one. Haven't even got to the unblockable specials. True, yeah. That's the wild thing. Hi, buddies. Yo, what up, Karate Man? How you doing? All right, let's get back to Lags here.
So many defensive abilities. 25% say he's balanced is insane. This is the most OP defender in MCOC history. Big agree with that. Massive agree with that. And then there was a comment on Nagacy's video that I really want to point out and talk about it here.
I want to go and watch all these now.
Dab, right here. Dab is a very, very skilled and knowledgeable player in our community and in the end game. He's
just kidding.
Been top tiers of Battlegrounds all the time. So he's saying here, we're going to read his full comment. As always, a W Riz video by Lagacy. Now time to name 21 defensive abilities that Serpent has. On this rebalancing post,
21.
They mentioned, 3 defensive abilities. They're calling out Cosmic ones specifically, but they're mentioning like Power Gain, Death Immunity, Pierce, as if that's all he has. It's not even close to all he has, bro. So immunity to Cold Snap. Who uses Cold Snap? Kate Bishop. So she can't be used here. One of the most overpowered champs in the entire game, one of the most overpowered attackers.
Honestly, I don't mind shutting down Kate Bishop. I kind of hate Kate Bishop. I've lost so many matches against her, man. I'm good with that one. That's fine.
He's immune to cold snap, so she doesn't work here. And, cold snap is a very, very, very rare immunity to have, so it's pretty nice to have that. 90% reduction to bleed. That's pretty nice, too. Resistance up. Pierce. High health pool, which... yeah.
Hold on. Let's go check that, too. Where's the health at? I mean... It's 67th percentile, but that percentile kind of skewed because of like some of the absolute behemoths, but that's still definitely on the high end. You look at a champ that we were just talking about that has really high crit resist, like Doom, and you notice his health pool is not too high, because I think the devs knew, hey man, this guy's a real a-hole. But if you bring in a champ that has like damage over time, you can still chew through him in an okay amount of time. So yeah, does have a high health pool.
Yeah, as if, the most toxic and unfair defender in the game needs a high health pool. Totally. Crit resist, undexable specials, counters evade, counters miss.
Lags, you went past the undexable specials part too fast, dude. Undexable specials. That is one of my least favorite things in the entire game. There's almost 300 champs in this game, right? Technically more if you include all of the, secondary characters, the Doom bots, the special bosses, the end of chapter bosses, all that stuff, right? And each of those champs has 2 specials that are dexable. Trying to keep all of those specials in our brains is freaking difficult, man, and it just gets harder and harder as the days go on to remember all this stuff. You could say, well, hey, in a Battlegrounds setting, maybe you're seeing the same 40-ish champions in a season, so you just have to kind of narrow your focus on that or something. But still, dude, it's so much. And to take away that element of reward for being able to masterfully dex a special, dude, I hate it so much. I don't know if it should be a thing outside of very specific scenarios. I mean, I think Heimdall was the first one that didn't have an undexable special, but it's Heimdall. It's Heimdall. Who cares? Heimdall doesn't have 21 defensive attributes. Heimdall. I mean, let's not even talk about Heimdall. It doesn't matter. That champ's irrelevant. It's crazy, dude. It's absolutely all right. Let's continue.
Stun immune during specials, extra attack rating per call force charge, 125% death immunity. What that means is that champions that have neutralize. And also, immunity to Fate Seal. So you can't just Fate Seal him.
Now we come to one of my other favorite things about MCOC. When 100% doesn't mean 100%. And I get it. I understand the idea of increasing your ability accuracy and decreasing it and stuff like that. But oh my god. Oh my god, dude. When you get a champion that's like, this champion, in my brain it reads like, this champion makes it so that the other champion, their ability doesn't work. But how it's actually written in the game is, this champion has a 100% reduced chance for a type of an ability, So, oh my god. It's not until I get punished for the first time of like, wait a minute, what? Why didn't that work? Doesn't this champ make it so that the opponent can't be unblockable? No, it just means that the unblockable chance is reduced by 100%, and it turns out the opponent had 500% unblockable ability accuracy, so block this a-hole. Oh my god, dude. It's frustrating, and I understand why it has to be this way. Just because there's only so many avenues for, expansion in this type of game or any type of game. But holy hell, is that frustrating.
This death immunity, it's going to trigger even if you have neutralize. So, unless you have more than 125% ability accuracy neutralize, It's not going to be guaranteed that you even counter it. And neutralize is one of the best ways to counter him. Power gain, massive, fat, ridiculous power gain, big heal, massive heal. He can heal.
Dude, even the power gain, how many champions have stronger power gain than Serpent? They exist. But, my God. The first thing I think about with Serpent is probably the undexable specials, followed by, like, the immortality, and then it probably is the power gain. But the fact that, like, that's not even number one on the list, the power gain, and it's still one of the strongest in the entire game. I spent so much time fighting that guy and just, I don't know, man. Just sitting there, can't dex the specials. Oh. You'd think for a champ that has undexable specials, they wouldn't get to throw them nearly as much as this guy does. And yeah, you can counter him. My preferred counter was not one that was listed. It's White Tiger, because White Tiger, every other special is, you drain a bit. I'm not saying she's the best counter. I'm just saying I love that champ, and that's who I end up using as a counter. But dude, half the fight, I'm just clenching hard as hell that this guy doesn't get to throw his special before I get to, fire my next one to drain him a little bit. It's brutal. His power gain is extra special in death immunity because it's tied to that buff, and just skyrockets his power gain. No power gain buff even. Yeah, dang, dude. That is the crazy part of it, right? Early on, it's not that insane. It's the end of life stuff. Oh man. Okay.
Heal like a quarter of his health at the end of the fight after you kill him. And again, it's a high health pool. So high health pool, high regen. Immunity to Fate Seal. Fear debuff counters Juggy, so another extremely meta-relevant attacker, just hard countered. Reduces power drain and burn potency by 60%. And again, he has insane...
Dude, I didn't even realize that. Oh my God. Why does he even have that? Isn't that what he's supposed to be weak against? Why is this guy going against the class wheel, too, on top of it all, man? Dang.
Power gain. If the opponent takes 0 block damage from special 3, gain 2 bars of power. Immune to heal block. Immune to special and power lock. Ability power rate cannot be reduced under 50% by non-mystics. Clearly balanced. Oh, and if that's not enough, we have some more replies here too. You forgot 3 more things. He forgot stuff. Minus 60% potency to any instant damaging effect. Minus 60% crit penetration. Ignores 60% less armor and resistances, which is different to crit resist. And his immortalities also nullify stagger immune. Oh yeah, so that immortality, the one that has increased percentage so that you can't just neutralize it, yeah, it's also immune to nullify and stagger. Like, bro, when you break it down like that, how is this allowed?
It's illegal. I'm pretty sure it's illegal. So this, just to kind of restate how I see Serpent, is I really consider him to be an end chapter boss. Like, if there was if I don't make tier lists, but if I did, I'd have like the different attacking tier list or something like that, different defending tier, like you'd separate them out in that way or something, right? I wouldn't call Serpent a defender even, dude. He's just an end chapter boss. The 21 things that are listed there, plus the additional 3, if we go and take a look, like this is all without nodes. That's the other thing about him, is that when he's this big without nodes, I'm in the wrong area. When he's this big without nodes, any little thing, any little addition just feels monstrous, I think that's one of my least favorite parts about his existence, is just that, yeah, at a baseline, he's insane. Whereas other things, there needs to be additions to kind of make them crazy. So even the collector in 5.2, one of the most difficult parts of the collector is Bane. If you take away Bane, and try to like compare the two, I don't know who I'd rather fight, the Collector or Serpent. Hey, dude, they're in the same league, you know. It's crazy. So is Enchantress BG. Be ready to hear the same thing about her. Unavoidable damage, very limited number of counters. I don't know. I've already fought Enchantress a bit. I don't know that I feel that way about it. Maybe in more time I will or something, but I didn't get that first impression from Enchantress at least. Crazy. Nodes are meant to support bosses, but nowadays it's helping us to defeat the BS defenders they make. Sometimes. It's one champ. I have a roster that counters him, so I'm not pressed to be complaining, let alone trying to sign a petition. Okay. Well, that's fine. You don't need to. Okay. Let's continue.
Oh, is a champion that has all this and a champion like Drax existing in the same game.
Oh, don't bring up
They
Drax.
can be in the same decks. Like, what?
Drax cannot be in the same deck.
Bro. So, yeah, that was an excellent comment. I'm going to drop a like on that. Shout out to Dab. And then, damn, so true. There are more abilities here than the combined total of all 2015 and 2016 champs.
Wow, that's kind of true.
This proves to me the balance program is heavily flawed. It only...
Dude, 2015 champs are like, you have a 6% chance on medium, not even medium, on basic attacks to gain a 10% fury. End of ability list. That's how this game started. Oh, man. Let me back it up a couple seconds.
This proves to me the balance program is heavily flawed. It only exists to nerf OP attackers, or well, we'll just have to wait to see new counters then. And I've heard multiple people now saying the same thing. Adopting this mindset. I
will say, I don't have that mindset. It shouldn't be any surprise to hear that I disagree with a lot that the balance team does. No disrespect to them. It's just it's kind of like I was mentioning. Maybe the way that they see the game is different from the way I personally see and would like the game to be. And I'm not requesting that they make the game for me, you know. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and that's fine. But yeah, throughout the entire time playing this game, like I did want champs nerfed, and that did happen in 12.0. Oh god, but what an update that was. Terrible update. Some good ideas, but terrible update, right? I did not want someone like Namor nerfed. That happened in that one update. Unfortunately, that went through, and I still feel like Namor never really fully recovered, even though it was like a minor update to him. It was enough of a hit. And then there's been a bunch of champs like throughout the time that I did want nerfed, and they just never did get nerfed. So like Quake being one of them. I think Quake is the dumbest champ to have in a fighting game. Oh hey, this champ just doesn't actually fight. I can counter everything. This champ interacts with nothing, so you just get a free ride. So stupid. I don't know how that champ was okay to be in the game for as long as it was. Of course, Hercules. I think that was a mistake. There's been plenty of other things that, you know, maybe even some of these things. We say balanced team, but I bet you individuals on the balanced team probably debate one another about things like this, you know? And ultimately, I guess they're keeping Serpent alone because, again, they must have some other vision for the game. We knew from the start that they wanted this to be an insane defender, and, well, it is. Whether it's good or not, up for debate.
Love how hypocritical Kabam is. They say Hercules' immortality is overtuned, yet Serpent's death immunity cannot be removed by a special 3 and grants him regeneration and power gain. Now I understand why Jax and John left this incompetent company. I don't think John left. I think he meant Mike. But...
Sorry to interrupt yet again. But I will say... Actually, you know what? Let me let it go a little longer. I'm interrupting too much, but I'll make my points in a minute here.
This point still stands. I think I'm going to name this video because I was thinking about this comparison myself. That Serpent is defensive Hercules, and then I saw this comment, and then I saw another comment from a fellow content creator also make the same comparison. So yeah, I think the title of this video is going to be Hercules and Serpent. Two sides to the same cosmic coin, one side being defensive, one side being offensive. Like, they really made Hercules 2.0 and made him the most defensive champion in the game. Like, they're not going to rebalance him. All the data should clearly show how overtuned he is. I have been playing Battlegrounds so much, so many matches. I have heard from so many other top tier players that we've all fought Serpent so much, we've banned Serpent so much, we've gotten our butts kicked by Serpent so much. I hear, the argument in favor of Serpent, not being tuned down is that, they have a Serpent maybe even a rank 3 one, and they say, oh, well, I get my butt kicked by Serpent too, but so does everyone else, so it's okay. Why do we all want to be getting our butt kicked by a toxic, unfair champ? I don't. That's not fun. Even if we're all getting our butt kicked, no.
Yeah, that's true, man. I've played a lot of PvP games, and there are things that are like clearly crossing the line, and the reasoning of, well, everyone gets to cross that line too, so it's okay, it's balanced that way, while true, doesn't necessarily make for the best game or the best experience. Mike and Jackson did not leave because of Serpent not getting nerfed. Let's stop that. Yeah, that's also that comment. Whoever left that comment, I don't know what they were thinking. That definitely isn't the case. This is what I was gonna say a moment ago as well. So, Serpent, Lags referred to Serpent as like Hercules 2.0, right? But let's take a moment to think about how we got to Hercules in the first place. Hercules is Corvus 2.0. This is before PvP game modes. This is before Battlegrounds. Okay, Alliance War existed, yes, but this is before Battlegrounds, where like PvP is front and center to the masses if you want it. It's accessible to the masses. Alliance War was always there, but I wouldn't say always accessible. It takes such a commitment to be part of an alliance that like wants to be competitive, even if you're not competitive at the absolute top of the leaderboards, even just being competitive in gold 2 or whatever, right? It still takes a large commitment, and I know this because that's how, when we were in For Loki, we started as a map 3 AQ Alliance, and we climbed our way up through each and every one of those ranks, and it was just as much of a commitment in those lower ranks as it was once we got to the higher ranks. It takes a lot, and now that PvP is like open to the masses, and more players are having to contend with this, and like, I don't know, do we want this to be balanced just because everyone has access to an overpowered champ, like a much overpowered champ? Or but anyway, back to like before Battlegrounds was a thing. Corvus was the end all be all because he was able to be a cheat code in things like Alliance Quest. where you could, as long as you had your charges, you just pause and you sit that out. He had he had immortality, is what I'm getting at. That was a problem back then, but this is still fresh off the time where Kabam was scared to nerf anything. This is before they had a rebalancing program. They could not change Corvus. I don't know if they wanted to, but they could not. And the only reason, or the only way to get people interested in a champ, especially in like the cosmic class, was to make them better than Corvus. And that's what Hercules is. Hercules is just a better Corvus. They're different in some ways, but I mean, he's just a better Corvus. And I'm not saying that Serpent for like solo PvE content and all that. I'm not saying Serpent is a better Hercules. But yeah, he's on that level of craziness. And yeah, you would think that I don't know, man, at some point you cross a line into territory that is just unhealthy for the game. What's crazy is Serpent was also added in like a wave of very difficult defenders. And so we know that Kabam was really trying to up the ante on defense, right? You would think with all they're trying, if they just had like a fistful of darts and threw them at the dartboard, that one of them would land outside the scope, and they were like, okay, we crossed the line here. This is too much. And if there was one champ that describes, it would be Serpent. So to not rein that in, it also does feel a little weird. The difference is that they can nerf Herc with nodes. That's true. But they can't even really use Serpent in questing content because he's already broken without nodes. That's a good point. They can, they told people not to bring Herc to Necropolis. Some people didn't listen, brought him anyway, and it turns out maybe they shouldn't have. Maybe Herc wasn't that good there. They could do that. And although I still think that's bad for the game, because that's what they did for Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch was the biggest attacker problem, and then they added a node that hurt every single champ in the game, nearly every champ in the game. So you could only use a few. It's not quite the same in this instance, but still, yeah, that gets sketchy real fast. Luckily, they are also nerfing Hercules on attack by introducing Crucible type content, where you can't use him for every fight. But as long as you draft Serpent in Battlegrounds, as long as he's not banned, he'll be there for minimum 1 out of the 3 of the fights, if not 1/2 of the fights, if you go 0-2 against them. But yeah, let's continue.
It's just too much, man. It's just too much. And yeah, there's some other videos made here as well. KT1 made one. Kabam is so full of crap. No Serpent nerf. Has no justification. Massive L. Completely agree. It's rare when so many different content creators all agree on the same thing.
True.
Like, that doesn't usually happen, I did make this poll, and then something else that I made, guys, is for the first ever time, I made a petition on change.org. I've never done this before.
This is what I was told. So again, I didn't even realize that Lags made this video. I guess I just didn't check my subscription feed the day that all this was happening. And the moment I fired up the stream, someone was like, dude, did you see Lags' video? Are you going to sign his petition? I love this. These petitions... the petition is more about sending a message. Because it's not like Kabam has to abide by it. But that's just like a level of, hey, it's not that I don't like this. It's that I don't like this enough that I'm going to change.org to try and, yeah, let you know. It's a peaceful protest. Yeah, there you go. It's a peaceful protest.
But, yeah, MCOC community-wide Serpent defensive rebalancing objection. Sorry, it's very bright. I wish there was a dark mode for this website.
It is very bright. It's okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to read what I wrote here. And yeah, so just made this. I've never made a petition in my life. But yeah, I'm very passionate about this, and I feel like our community is too. So get started. I've been playing Marvel Contest of Champions for almost 8 years, competed in more in-person tournaments for the game than anyone else, and I've been making YouTube content on the game every single day, pretty much for the last like 6-7 years.
I love this.
In all my time playing this game, never has there been a more toxic and unfair defender than Serpent, in my humble opinion. Some people will tell you he isn't that bad to fight. These people don't play the game at the highest level and understand the impact that he has on the entire game. For multiple Battleground seasons in a row, he has been essentially an auto win if you draft him and place him on defense. I would put good money. He has the highest the highest defensive win rate in the game. I would also wager he's the most banned champion in the game as well. And, you know, I have no way to look at those stats. That's all just based off my own experience, playing the game at a high level, watching streams, observing what other people do, that kind of thing. So I would wager good money, and I only make bets when I'm sure I'm going to win.
I wouldn't bet that, Lags, because from my experience, the best defender in the entire game is Venom the Duck. So maybe he could be number 2, but Venom the Duck probably number 1.
But Kabam does have this information, and if that's true, and they still don't rebalance Serpent, what the fudge? What is the point of the rebalance program then?
And with the fudge,
Serpent's spotlight here says he is a 5 out of 5 defender strength. It's maxed out. This is incorrect. There should be another bar right here because he's not a 5 out of 5 defender. Bullseye is a 5 out of 5 defender. Serpent is a 6 out of 5 defender. If Bullseye and Serpent are both 5 out of 5 defenders, but Serpent's a better defender, they're not both 5 out of 5 defenders.
This is the other thing that I was going to mention about like the balance stuff. I don't want to harp on it too much because I've made a lot of videos in the past, but these things still don't make any sense to me. The champion ratings, and I'm curious just how many of you look at these and yeah, I don't know. Do you use them at all? Like his damage is supposed to be at 2.5. Can we compare other champs with damages of 2.5? Is his damage that bad? I don't know. This whole thing still doesn't make sense to me, but
Serpent 6 out of 5. And the rebalance program is supposed to, you know, better represent these stats. This is where Kabam wants these champions to land. He's more than a 5 out of 5 defender. I think most of us can agree on that. At least we can agree on that. Keep reading. The rebalance program was put in place by Kabam so they could monitor and be free to make any changes on brand new champions within a 6-month period of their release. This program was put into place to prevent another champion like Hercules. It was specifically made to prevent another champion like Hercules from entering the ecosystem of the game because champions of that caliber start to ruin the game. We've already seen this with Kabam building new content around Hercules like Necropolis and Crucible. You know, you can only use one Hercules for one fight in Crucible.
Oh,
he's terrible in Necropolis. And of course, revive farming has been nerfed as a result. Serpent and Hercules are two sides of the same coin, same cosmic coin. One side defensive, one side offensive. Offensive, defensive. With all that said, Kabam has decided to not touch Serpent in any way. What? His defender strength, according to his spotlight, is 5 out of 5, but I disagree. It's 6 out of 5. No other champion in the game is as bad as him on D. Only other champ that come close was Bullseye, but he has 2 to 3 times more counters and was changed by the rebalancing program. To make him easier to fight and reduce BS damage, you can now freely dex his basic combos without taking damage. Lagacy, I'm starting a community-wide petition to attempt to make Kabam take another look at Serpent's rebalance and rebalance him properly like they should for the good of the community and the game. If we, the community, feel strongly enough on something, Kabam has no choice but to listen. They make the game, but without us to play it and spend it, will fall apart. Can we get 10,000 signatures? Thank you for your time. So, of course, a link to this will be in the description and probably in the pinned comment. I'm asking for 10,000 votes. I don't know if that's enough. Hopefully we get more. Hopefully Kabam listens. They see how passionate we are about this. And to anyone who thinks this is just stupid, it's not going to work, maybe you're right. Maybe it is stupid. Maybe it's not going to work. But I've been along in this community for so long that, you know, Kabam has made very bad decisions before, and it's costed them heavily. Back in 12.0, and I am comparing this to that, but is definitely not on that scale. And with 12.0, another very most popular and prominent content creator of all time and Marvel Comics champion, Seton Man of Legends. He started the legendary boycott, which is essentially to get the community to stop spending money on the game so Kabam would listen. And they were also review bombing the game in the App Store and Google Play Store, giving it like 1 or 0 star reviews. Now, I do not want to go nearly that far, especially the whole review bombing. I think that's a terrible idea, because I think that affects the games. I want new players to play the game. I don't think we should be review bombing it. I think that's a terrible idea. A boycott, Agreed. I think, was a good idea to really make Kabam listen, because at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing, is money. But I'm not asking for a boycott. I just want them to take a look. I want some signatures. I want them to see how passionate the community is about this, and to really just not be so hard-headed.
So, a couple things here. Number one, it's not a bad idea. I don't think ever voicing your concerns in this type of way is bad. I agree. I don't like full-on boycotts, because it feels like you're trying to hold the developers hostage in that situation, and I don't like that. That sort of thing always puts a bad taste in my mouth. I've seen it for a lot of other games, and I will say sometimes that is just about making a statement. In most cases it is, because if you think about what happened after 12.0, well, Kabam changed the things that they were always going to change, and then the rest of it, they didn't change, They didn't revert Scarlet Witch to her busted levels, or Thor can't take down Winter Soldier and 9 hits. Those things, they were never going to happen. So, not to harp on that too much. Even though I did stop spending, so I was in compliance. But anyway, I want to check this out. The other thing I was going to say, though, is kind of what I already said. So it's not necessarily about whether this works or not. It wasn't necessarily about whether the previous boycott worked or not, or at least from my perspective. It's more about just saying, hey, it's not that I just care about this a little bit. I care about this a lot, This is how much I care about this. Do other people agree? Because, hey, if I'm alone, then okay, well, I guess maybe it's just me, right? But if other people also join in and say, hey, this is, I feel strongly about this as well, then, I don't know. It's just an easy way for Kabam to get their attention and make them understand what the problem actually is, versus just, I don't know, being like, oh, I dislike that he's not getting nerfed. Because honestly, that's all I was gonna say. I dislike that he's not getting nerfed. BG's still boycotting to this day. I'm hardcore with it, man. People tell me to boycott, I'm gonna do it. Let's check in on the petition here. It's gonna be bright again, you guys. So the petition currently has over 1,000 signatures on it. 72 people signed today. It's about to be 73. Let me tell you what. Oh, I can't do that, actually. I'd have to put my real first and last name. People can't. I don't want people to know what that is. But no, that's, again, it's not even necessarily about having a certain number of people sign it. The more people sign it, the better. The more people that sign it helps, Kabam to understand that a lot of people feel the same way. But again, it's not really about Kabam is definitely going to do exactly what we're asking for. It's more just about expressing strongly how you feel. And again, this is why I don't like going over to the extreme and boycotting, because then it feels like, hey, listen to me, and by the way, I'm holding your game hostage until you do. This is just like, hey, please listen to me. And I like that feels good enough to me. 1K signatures is crazy for my first petition. Dude, I love that you wrote this out, Lex. Let's keep going. Wait, your real name is not BG? No, dude. Are you kidding me? Why would I ever say my real name on the internet, dude? It's the first thing my dad told me when I was, you know, given access to the old computer. Hey, don't tell anyone your name. Listen. If my name ain't Jim Bartholomew Gerstenblatt, then you know, anyway.
Listen to the community. Accept the Elkabam, make changes. So why my webcam's over here is because we're going to be showing and getting into some Serpent
Oh yeah, I was curious about that.
gameplay. So we're going to do that in a sec here, but I wanted to pull up Aunt May because we're going to be talking about some of his abilities here. So let me pull up some of my videos that I have queued up. We got a couple Serpent fights from some previous Battlegrounds metas. So the first one I want to show you guys is it this one? No, it's this one right here. Yeah, it's in this fight. So Serpent has, you know, with his special attacks, we all know that you can't dex them. Oh no, I think it's actually in the spotlight what I wanted to show. Let me pull.
Are we gonna start having like increased ability accuracy for dexing specials? Does it say in his kit that he reduces your accuracy for dexing, or does it just say you cannot dex? Because I swear to God, if we have to start tracking that, where does it say? Where does it talk about? Probably special attacks, I guess. On activation, gain an unblockable passive for 0.65 seconds. If the first hit breaks, the opponent's blocked. The unblockable is paused. On activation, gain a definite true focus buff. This buff is removed when the Serpent is struck, but as a defender, only when struck by a special attack. While this buff is active, the Serpent's special attacks cannot be avoided by the Dexterity Mastery. Okay, so it's not ability accuracy. It's just it cannot be avoided, which technically there's some champs that dex without dex. Can they dex as specials? I guess I never really tried. Just keep watching this part. Okay, Lags. Let's see.
That up here. So we're gonna pause this for a quick second. It looks like we got a super long loading time, which was always fun. Looks like this was from that season. But pulling up the special attacks. Okay, so it's right here. So we're just gonna pause this for a quick sec and pull the monitor back up here. So with special attacks on activation here, this is the official M60 Spotlight. On activation, gain an unblockable passive for 0.65 seconds. If the first hit breaks the opponent's block, the unblockable special is paused, and as an attacker, the potency of Serpent's instant damage is increased. On activation, gain an indefinite true focus. This buff is removed when Serpent is struck, and as a defender, only when struck by special attack. While this buff is active, the Serpent special attacks cannot be avoided with the Dexterity Mastery, which is terrible. It's terrible, you know, not being able to dex. Now, here's where the developer, DLL, chimes in, and he says, "Hear me out. This combination isn't quite as scary as it reads. The first hits of Serpent's Special 1 and Special 2 are both melee attacks, meaning that they can be avoided by any champion even with the Dexterity Mastery is disabled."
I find even the timing of his Special 1, the melee attack where he leaps across the screen, even that feels like it has a larger reach. It's almost, I would describe it, if I had to compare it to another champion, I would say someone like, actually, no, it's not a good comparison. I was going to compare to Sabretooth, but they're really not the same. Either way, I get worried about even that first hit of the Special 1. Now, most of the time it doesn't actually hit me. But even then, I'm like, dude, even that part, because you can't actually dex it. It's similar to, I guess, the way I feel about Domino. When I'm unlucky, sometimes she will catch you with a melee attack because you're swiping as like a dex rather than just to get away. We can't tell our game like the difference, you know, of like just moving back or moving back and dexing. you decks outside of playing those few champs?
Offensively, take some lessons from soccer and help us to get the most out of Serpent specials. Now, this is technically true, but this doesn't always happen. And I'm about to pull up a fight where I show you exactly what I mean. This happened to me many times, where you're too close to Serpent, and when he throws the special, even though you dash back out of it, you still get hit. And so that's going to happen in a second here. And so you'll see, you know, I can't evade these, so I have to skillfully avoid that damage. So right there, by parrying, but right here, look.
Okay, so Lags, we had the same idea. It's yeah, dude. Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on. Clarissa, I've been seeing you sigh your mind out. I'm focused on this video, but you know what? This is too many sighs. Let me see. Is there petition to stop the vid and play Battlegrounds again, BG? Okay.
Look. Okay. So he's getting his power gain. I'm walking up. He throws it. He's unblockable. Okay. I just have to dash back. So I dash back. Right here.
It's so big.
I dash back. I'm dashing back. I'm sliding. Dexterity failed and I get hit. Dexterity failed.
Dude, hold on. I'm slowing down Lags' slowdown because this is a melee attack. While technically true, it is taking up how much of the screen? Hold on, I'm trying to get to the exact right spot here.
I dash back. I'm dashing back. I'm sliding.
It needs to be like right without the flash. I don't want the special effects. Look at how much screen real estate this is taking up. Oh my god. Dude, the hammer. The edge of the hammer is almost at the profile picture for Lags. This is not a melee attack. This is a melee attack if you have the dexterity mastery active. This is not a melee attack when this is the entire room that you have and you mistime this and then you're hit. What the hell, dude? I've never actually slowed it down this much. Oh my god. It goes into that, like, the first buff right here. Who gave this guy this big a hammer? Oh my god. How does he swing it so fast? I wish I had never mind. My god.
Biden. Dexterity failed and I get hit. What? What did we just read? Hear me out. This combination is quite scary to read. The first hit of Serpent Special 1 and 2 are both melee attacks, meaning that they can be avoided by any champion, even when the dexterity mastery is disabled. Well, that didn't happen. So
Yeah.
Where's that in the rebalancing? Where's that? Sometimes you're too close, and you get hit by the melee attack, and you can't dex out of it.
Turns out it takes up the entire screen.
So where's that change? I don't know. I don't see it on here. So that's cool. Yeah. Let's finish watching this fight, just because why not? And so the reason why my webcam's over here and not over there is so that you can see Serpent's power bar. Because his power gain is absolutely...
So here's the other trend that I don't... Serpent's not the biggest offender of this, but some of these champs, their special animation is quite lengthy. As Kabam, it's almost like they're trying to one-up themselves, even in the art department. And these animations, when they're as long as they are, the amount of power that is gained before you can have any sort of control over the fight again, it's just a lot. I'd say Onslaught is probably the largest offender, and although he doesn't have some insane, you know, like it's node based. If we look at this season, it's really the node in combination with his effects, where the cooldown, like maybe it should be paused during specials or something. Like maybe Serpent shouldn't be gaining power the entire time that he's throwing these. I mean, listen, I don't know what you'd call these exactly. The head and anyway, while he's throwing these things at you, he's just gaining power this whole time. And when his power gain really kicks, all right, let's just watch.
The Serpent's power bar.
Okay, so he's basically completely empty here, right? I want to see the moment he throws it. But he's basically completely empty in terms of power, right? He had 2 bars, pretty much exactly. This is now the first frame where he's activated his special. He's got 0 power. Let's see how much he has by the time Lags can play the game again.
Bar. Because his power gain is absolutely...
Okay, right here. How we're like figuring this out is if you take a look at Lags' power. Okay, you see how it's like ethereal right now. The opacity is lowered. That's because Lags can't actually like fully control his character, right? But if I jump 1 frame forward, he can now, right? He can actually activate his specials now. At this point, however, that's already almost half a bar back. And then if you notice, now the dude's got 2 power gains, right? He didn't have that a moment ago, right?
Bar. Because
he's just got 1 power gain buff active right now.
Is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, so yeah, he gains it at the end of the special, right? I guess I never really paid attention exactly when it happens. But as soon as the special animation is over, he's got that 2nd power gain buff now. Ethereal, that's a neat word. Yeah, I don't know if it's the best word to describe it, but it kind of is.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh, and here, look at that. What just happened there? Oh, I got crushed. Because this was one of the worst metas ever, especially for Serpent. It's just RNG. RNG, RNG, RNG. Serpent can go unblockable, and you can just go get crushed. And then guess what? His unblockable, undexable, unmissable, unevadable specials are just gonna hit you.
Okay, you know what? Lags, buddy. I should have done this a long time ago, pal. Let me join you over here. Hold on, dude. Give me a sec. Because I'm gonna back up this video for a second here. Let me just oh god, where is it? Here we go. Transform, flip horizontal. Okay. All right, let's back this up. We're gonna listen to Lags and watch the power gain on Serpent, as if you guys haven't seen it and have to face it yourself, but still.
And you can just go get crushed. And then guess what? His unblockable, undexable, unmissable, unevadable specials are just gonna hit you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Isn't that just fun? Isn't that just fun? And so here, again, let's watch that back. So he's triggered his death immunity. So what do I have to do to counter that? At the full combo, relic, full combo again, and then special 2 just to kill him. And again, look at his power. It's full. If the fight goes on any longer, if he doesn't die, he's gonna special 3 me and kill me. Like, fights shouldn't be ending.
Lags, you won. I think, I don't think he should be nerfed. You beat him, so. I mean, you won points wise, but I don't know that you should have.
With the opponent always at 3 bars of power, no matter how skillfully you play it. It's so stupid. Okay, let's go to this fight. So this is a rank 3 Serpent, and this is my rank 3 Werewolf by night. So we're equal rank, and I would put Werewolf on my top 5 list of the best Serpent counters. And he's at rank 3, the highest rank in the game. It's the highest ranked Serpent in the game.
Both do.
So the reason why I like Werewolf for Serpent is for a couple of reasons. One, especially if your Werewolf is awakened, he's going to get passive regeneration. So that's really big against Serpent because, you know, you're forced to take a lot of block damage. So he's able to heal that up. So that makes him a great Serpent counter. Now, Werewolf doesn't really counter his power gain, which, you know, is a big part of Serpent's kit. That's the big area that Werewolf doesn't really counter at all. So that makes it a skilled fight in having to be proficient in baiting out special attacks. Sure. Real skilled when the AI just doesn't throw it. You know, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Watch the power. Watch Serpent's power once again. Just backed it up. So he's about to use his special 1.
Real skilled when the AI...
Okay, there we go. Let's get the first frame. Again, I just want to show the amount of power that he gains while throwing the special. So he's there. I don't know what you'd call that. What is that? Like a 1/7 of a bar, an 1/8 of a bar, whatever it is.
When the AI just doesn't throw it, you know, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
So at this point, Lags can now play the game again. And yeah, it's almost half a bar. Which means one combo. Let's see what happens after Lags does one combo here.
But okay, the other reason why I like...
Back to special. That's it. That's all you get to play. You get to do one combo. That's it. How is that fun? Forget the rest of it, dude. I forget all the other conversations of like, oh man, yeah, this guy is he too powerful? Can he be countered? All this stuff. Dude, I just want to play the game, and I can't. I could do one combo, and then I have to look at this.
Werewolf for this fight is because there's two crazy things that happens when you kill Serpent. He gets the super duper fat healing, and the super duper fat power gain. So Werewolf can't really counter the power gain, but again, with skillful methods, aka using relics, cop out skillful strategy there. Not even champion specific abilities. It's a mechanic that hasn't even been in the game for as long as I've been playing it, or half as long as I've been playing it, you know. But Werewolf here, you know, with the ruptures and despair, a mastery, again, not even Werewolf's abilities. We have to use masteries and strikers just to counter this guy. The despair, you know, will...
Lags is playing a multi-hit champion. The fight's been going on. There's 27 seconds left in the clock. Lags is at 55 hits. Against any other defender, you're hitting so much more. Like this guy really just puts you on the back foot the entire time. You're playing defense. Serpent is the best defender in the game, but you are the one that has to play defense against this guy, dude. Whew.
Counter the healing. So here you see we have so many ruptures that he's not healing. But look at that power gain, man. Look at that power gain, just skyrocketing. We finished the fight. Dude, he finished the fight again, full power. Took almost 100 seconds, only 45,000 points. And I played that fight as perfectly as I could with a rank 3, top 5 counter. I'm only putting up 45k points. Sure, it was enough to win me this round, because my Serpent was also on defense. But, like, if he wasn't, and my opponent put up just a mid score of, like, 47,000, you know, I'm losing all day.
Just noticed something. You guys. $97 seconds? 96. Mojo? Better than Wolf. Please pay no attention to that Serpent on the other end only being a 6-star. Don't worry about that. Mojo's best. Just saying.
Like, it's just way too much. Way too much all in one champion. So here, this was the season with just BS. So you're going to see, start of this fight. Now we're 10 seconds in. 10 seconds in. He's already has a bar power. We've got to bait this out. So boom, hurry up, dude. Throw your special, man. I barely even touched him. Just trying to bait specials. So boom, first special baited. We've already killed almost 30 seconds. Now watch this.
Okay, this is funny as hell, dude. Watch
so boom,
this.
First special baited. We've already killed
Bait the special. Lags hits him one time here. Once.
30 seconds. Now watch this second special. Oh, I'm crushed. I have no choice but to get hit. There goes half my health. What a fun start to a fight. What did I do wrong there? I guess I could have, if I was paying a slightly bit more attention and realized I had the crush on me, maybe I could have thrown my special first. So I guess that could have been on me. But still, what a fun way to start the fight. In my opinion, one of the biggest things, and just simple, just obvious things that should have been changed on Serpent in his rebalancing, is Serpent, his special attacks, because they are so crazy and so limiting here, being undexable and unmissable and unevadable, Serpent should be immune to any kind of unblockable or crushed outside of his own kit. Simple as that. This Battleground season very, very much showed all of us The entire endgame of the community. Kabam should have seen it too. How ridiculous and dumb Serpent is with this RNG, unblockable and crushed. It's just stupid. He should be absolutely immune to any type of crushed or unblockable outside of his own kit. Simple as that. Simple as that. In one of the other Battlegrounds metas, he had there's a node called Extend. Now, Extend has been in the game for a long time, but I never truly realized how crazy Extend could be.
Oh, Extend is crazy. If you think about what Extend is, it's the difference between an unduped Hyperion and a duped one, you know? What is the actual percentage that it gains or whatever?
Especially on Serpent. What Extend does is it increases the defender's debuffs and buffs by 150%. So Serpent...
150%. So I think Hyperion maxes out at like 75. I think it ranges from like 70 to 75 with this awakened ability version, basically.
Serpent's 8-second death immunity was lasting for like 20 seconds. 20 seconds of not being able to kill him, 20 seconds of power gain, 20 seconds of regen. Like, how is that okay? How is that fair? It's not. It's not. He's literally defensive Hercules. Literally. I have one more fight I want to show you guys. And this is another werewolf fight. So this is werewolf now punching down. So, you know, before it was a rank 3 Serpent. That's biggest Serpent in the game. You know, challenger rating is a 7-star, higher health pool is a 7-star. Look at that. He starts the fight unblockable. That's cool. That's fun. Unblockable special. Nothing I can do about that. Great. So much fun. What a skillful fight. I'm with all my...
Once again, dude. I know I'm harping on it a bit right now, but this is the reality when you're fighting this guy.
Look at that. He starts the fight unblockable. That's cool.
He just got a bar of power. He used it instantly. Do you see how instantaneously he used that? Look at this. Right here, he doesn't have it. Boom.
That's fun.
Instantly uses
special.
it.
Nothing I can do about that.
He's almost back at a full bar again. Lags is going to hit him once, I think.
Great. So much fun.
It was a double hit medium. So basically one hit. He's back at another bar.
What a skillful fight. I'm with all my skills, I can counter that. Totally. Nice.
Lags basically did one more action. Here's this. This is insane, dude. Because Lags, he had to eat that special. Right? He hit him one time. That was Lags' offensive action. Dude, I'm trying to... It's tough. There's not much screen real estate. But basically, Lags did one thing. He got to use one medium attack. Right? Then the defender, he was already at another bar of power. Lags did a second action, which was a special. And, well, now you can see Serpent is at 2 bars. You just barely get to play against this guy.
It was my blood, dude. That they didn't rebalance this guy. So ridiculous. So here,
he's throwing the special, and he's already at a special 1 again.
Parry these, you know, and I'll nail those parries 20 times out of 20 times. I'll parry all of his special attacks. Double parry, parry, parry. I'll do it every single time. I still take so much damage. Luckily with the wolf, though, you know, we're able to heal a lot of it back. So, you know, so far, I'm playing this fight skillfully. Still lost a quarter of my health, trying to regen it back. And I'm baiting specials as quickly and as efficiently as I can to not let him go.
I'm stressed out watching how many specials this guy gets to throw back to back to back to back.
Go to 3 bars. I'm just praying he doesn't trigger unblockable, and I'm praying I don't get crushed. Throw my special 2 here. Try to bait it. Try to bait it. Try to bait it. Try to bait it. He goes red. What am I... Dude. Let's watch that again. Try to bait it here. Knock him down. Usually when you knock the defender down, that increases their chance to throw their special attack. So you'll see I knock him down. And I leave myself wide open. Wide open. I walk up, then I tap my block to make him throw it. He doesn't throw it. Dex doesn't throw it. Dex doesn't throw it. Dex doesn't throw it. Goes red instantly. Goddamn instantly. How is that skill-based? Tell me how. Is that skill-based? Okay, maybe I'm just bad. I'm bad at the game, you know. I suck. Qualified for the only ever in-person Battlegrounds tournament in the world. Only 10 people, less than 10 people qualified. But I'm bad. I'm not skilled. I don't know how to play this game. I don't know how to counter a good defender, a 5 out of 5 defender, even with a counter. Yeah, I'm just bad. I'm not skilled. It's a skill issue. It's a total skill issue. 100%. That's what it is. Skill issue. I'm bad at the game. Yeah, so...
I'll say it again, man. It doesn't feel like a defender. He straight up feels like the collector. You just barely get to do anything. At least you get to punch the collector in the face a few more times before you have to deal with his insane specials. And then it's the Bane node that does the heavy lifting in 5.2. It's not even the collector himself. It's brutal. It's brutal. And if Hercules offensively was one-upping Corvus, what are they eventually going to have to do to one-up this guy? I mean, I guess they don't have to one-up him. They could just have like an entire level of defenders on the same level of Serpent. But I mean, at what point are we just like... It just didn't look fun at all, man. I don't know. As like a one-off challenge, bring it. Bring it times 10. Bring it times 100. For a one-off challenge, for some PvE content. I want this game to be more challenging in that regard. But when I sit down and play a casual, 2-minute time limit fight, including the draft, a game mode that the average match length is like 10 minutes, maybe slightly less, like 8 minutes or something like that. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to actually be able to play. Dang, dude. That is crazy. By the way, I saw some comments about DLL in the chat. There weren't many. And I'm hoping that I didn't just miss them, because I really don't want this to be about DLL or any of the devs. Okay? I don't know DLL that well. Did meet him in Vancouver. And have had the pleasure of talking to him in the content creator Discord a bunch. Dude's great. Just because you may not see eye to eye with, I don't even know if it's what his goals are, or like the team as a whole, or whatever. Please don't ever make it personal. Yeah. I don't know how to put it more plainly than that, but I feel like I need to put a petition out just to get people to, to understand how strongly I feel about that. As, just don't put any of those comments around anywhere. Keep it to Kabam. You can talk about Kabam as an entity as a whole. Because it's not any one single person that is behind, the direction that this game heads in. So don't take it personal. Don't take it to personal levels or anything like that. I see there's a couple super chats. I haven't been reading them as much as we're still, going through the rest of Lagacy's video. There's about 2 minutes left, and then we're going to keep talking for a tiny bit more. I'm going to we're gonna play this out before I read any of that stuff. Actually, one comment here from the Karate Man. DLL was tasked to make a tippy top roadblock defender, and he objectively did a damn good job. True. Making it personal because someone is undeniably good at what they're asked to do makes the argument weak. That is true. That is true. I have seen a few comments, by the way, in the chat as well. Because again, DLL did, complete the objective. Or like, I don't even want to say DLL anymore. I want to say Kabam. Kabam completed the objective of making a difficult defender. But I have heard a few comments, this is going back a couple days ago and today as well, that people saying, well, this is what Kabam wanted, so this is the way it should be. That essentially, right? Like, if the goal is to make a difficult defender, well, then mission accomplished. Why are we even having this discussion? That was the goal. That can be the goal without being a good thing, right? Those two don't have to be true at the same time. Or they can be true at the same time, I should say. Sorry. Like Hercules. Hercules was tasked, they wanted Hercules to be someone that got people away from Corvus, a champion so exciting that people would actually care to chase down another cosmic champ in a similar space that was better than Corvus. And mission accomplished, right? That was done. Was that good for the game? I don't think so. You might see it differently. Some people will say yes, right? And that's fine to disagree. Anyone who says Serpent is okay, I don't necessarily want to debate you. I want to let you have that opinion, because that's fine. It's fine if you think Serpent's okay, but many of us don't. And that's what Lags is expressing, and that's what I'm also expressing as well. All right, let's see what the rest of Lags has to say, and then we'll get to those super chats and all that.
Guys, I think that is pretty much everything I wanted to say in this video. A good old Lagacy rant. It's been a while, so yeah,
that's a good one, Lags.
That's gonna do it. The petition will be in the description and the pinned comment. Let's see, do I have any signatures yet? I haven't shared this with anyone. Oh, I already have a signature. Let's go. I got one homie out there, bro. I got one homie already out there. Hopefully some of you homies join me. But I totally respect your opinion. So if you disagree with me and you think Serpent shouldn't be rebalanced and you're not going to go sign the petition, that's totally fine, man. Totally respect you. Totally respect your decision. And it's all good. All good. Whether Serpent gets changed or not, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of my life. I'm still going to be playing the game. I'm still going to be making content. I can just ban him, if I really want to. In Battlegrounds, if I have to. And yeah, because I would rather ban Serpent than have to force, 5 counters in my deck, Because you need to have more than 3 counters, because what if your opponent bans all 3 counters? And then that leaves you with only 2 counters. And then what if you don't draft those 2 counters?
So, let me tell you some experience that I have from Dota. Now, I've never played Dota on a truly competitive level. It's a competitive game by nature. That's the only way to really play it. But I've never played in like a tournament level. But I've watched enough tournaments to know that if champions in that game, which are called heroes, well, let's just call them champions. If champions in that game are banned, either they're banned at every stage of the tournament, or if they don't get banned, that team dominates, and then they're back to being banned every single, other future round of the tournament. That means that champ is too strong. Champs being banned that much, that is an indication of the champ being too powerful, and that's corrected. Now, it's a different type of game, because in this game, Kabam is selling these characters and need to keep players interested and, have to keep releasing champs to chase. We don't just have access to all of them. So even taking aside the money thing, I'm not even saying a money side of it. I'm just saying general power creep in any game, right? If it was a different type of game, it'd be, well, you already have the Master Sword in Zelda. Now you need a stronger sword to care about any other sword. So, okay, we have to make one, right? Doesn't matter what type of game it is. There's power creep because that's otherwise, why would you care? If a champion came out and they were Drax, they were Drax level of good or Groot level of good, no one would care whatsoever. So in order to get people to keep chasing these characters and also give an advantage, because that's fun as hell too, of being like, dude, I got the latest champ. Barely anyone has him yet. I'm about to dominate with this champ. I think that's good. I welcome that in games, honestly, as long as it's not like an esport style game. Like, again, it'd be bad in like Dota or something, but I do like that. I do like the idea of, I want this so bad because I am going to crush people with this character. I think that's great. But I also think there's a limit to that as well, right? It's a rebalancing program. It's not a nothing should be exciting in the game ever again program. There just has to be a balance to that. So it's totally fine that some of these characters come in and they crush, but there's a limit.
But yeah, totally respect you if you disagree. Totally respect DLL, the designer who made this champion. I like Serpent offensively. I used a 4-star in Crucible, solo 2 fights with him. But yeah, I have definitely lost faith in the balance team. I think this is unjust. And yeah, I've definitely never made a video like this before. Definitely never made a petition before. So that should speak volumes to my opinion and my feelings on this. But again, if you disagree, totally respect that. We are all entitled to our own opinion. And let's always respect that. That's going to do it for this video, guys. A rant. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. If you agree, if you disagree.
Loved it,
please
buddy.
give me that feedback in the comment section. And yeah, do you like these type of rants videos? Do you want to see more of these in the future? I've made a few in the past. It's been a while though. But yeah, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the bell if you want to be notified when we upload, when we stream. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. You guys are seriously the best. You guys are what keeps me around playing this game, coming back, making content over all these 8 years. Seriously,
Alex, where'd you go,
genuinely,
buddy?
You've made my life incredible. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day. Peace out.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to drop a link to the video. Make sure you guys go and give it a thumbs up. Lags, this is one of your best vids ever, bud. I really like the watching the breakdown of the fights and hearing your thoughts on it all. Loved it, dude. And I'm also going to drop a link, if you guys want to the petition as well. Again, in my opinion, the petition, it's more about just elevating... what? Oh, I can't link it. The link is too long. It doesn't fit in YouTube chat. All right, well, the link is... It's in the description of Lags' video. But in my opinion, it's more about just kind of making a statement of expressing exactly how strongly you feel about something, rather than, oh, if we hit X number of signatures, Kabam has to listen. They don't. Honestly, they do listen. That's the thing. Is I know Kabam listens, but it's still up to them to make whatever call they're going to make, you know? It's up to them to decide what is best. And as players, we're not always going to agree with everything they do. But yeah, that was a lot of fun kind of discussing this and breaking it down. Again, we can continue talking for a little bit here. I wanted to read some of the super chats, though. You know, I'm gonna start with yours here, Lags, with the 32 buds. Thank you, bud. Saying thank you so much, Bride. You're my best buddy. Love to hear your thoughts / opinions. Makes me look at things I didn't even think of. Lags, likewise, bud. You brought up some stuff that I hadn't really, thought of. So, Dungeon Buds for life, bud. Dude, Lags, appreciate the support as well, man. Okay, Alan, your message is long gone at this point, but do you remember what you said 32 minutes ago? Because it's gone. For these types of videos, I'm already interrupting it enough, the flow of what Lags is saying and interjecting with my own points. I didn't want to read too much of what you guys were saying outside of, a few comments. I was still reading some of them to myself silently, but Um, this hero for me is a hero, as I often say myself in Battlegrounds. Oh yeah, just already copied it. Okay, want me to paste it again? I can. Is it do it one more time, just so I am not reading the wrong one. One more time, if you could, please. Red Dog, thank you for the 2 as well. Saying I missed the days of button mashing arena. Yeah. The arena used to just be button mashing. Now it is not. I don't want any game that I play to be totally mindless, brain dead everywhere. But virtually every game I play, I want to be a little bit mindless, a little bit brain dead some places, you know? My favorite game of all time, Diablo 2. Dude, I'm constantly thinking in that game until I go on autopilot and I'm just doing something monotonous. And I enjoy both sides of it, you know? Wow, I've talked about it 1,000 times. Dude, my brain's going a mile a minute in that game until I hit a grind spot and I'm like, okay, I just have to grind it out for an hour while I watch Netflix or something, you know? But yeah, you kind of need that balance, you know? Some days you're looking for extreme levels of challenge. Other days you just got home from work and you're just looking to chill. And the arena was that chill side of the game. And the stronger that these champs get at a baseline, not when you add nodes to them. It's crazy. Nodes are what's supposed to... I feel like nodes were the thing that was supposed to make these, you know, champs insane. Now, you add even like a minor node. Nodes that you would ignore. Nodes that you just gloss over in a quest of like, oh, okay, so he's not going to be unblockable. All right, I don't care that much. It's going to make the fight a little harder, but I don't care that much. And you just go in and you handle it. Now, even little things like that, you're like, dude, I'm dying out here. You're telling me there's 1% additional block penetration, and now suddenly, dude, I'm drowning in this fight. That's all it takes. It's crazy. All right, Alan, let me see here. Right here, woo, Path 4 is done. Oh, dude, I forgot you were in Necropolis all this time. Path 4 is done. Time to open a 7-star. Let's take a guess again. Don't be to derail. I'll update on Twitter. Okay. This is just a basic. My guess is Sassy. Because I think that's one of the champs you were debating on taking from the 100% clear, right? So I'm kind of just hoping that you get him now. And then you can pick someone else. Let us know. I'll be on the lookout on Twitter already at the corner of my eye for you. Luke, your message is gonna be gone. Do you remember what you said 14 minutes ago? Typo, my bad. Anyone who saw that didn't mean to swear. Swearing is okay in the chat, as long as it's not weird or derogatory or, you know. Oh! I was kind of close. Alan. Casually waiting your guess. Looks like I got a Serpent counter. Well, you might be able to throw a medium attack, but then you're going to have to bait a couple specials. Dude, that's awesome. A Mystic Beast. Not a Sassy, but another Mystic Beast. That's sick, dude. That's awesome. Okay, Luke, though. Oh, wait, your message might still be here, actually. I would like more transparency with the data when they say we are happy with the ban rate, defensive win rate, etc. I'd like to see that data. I can't imagine that's good for their narrative, though. I mean, I'd be interested in the data, too, but I don't necessarily know that any number would be like conflicting with what they say, right? Because they might say, hey, we want to design a champ that is so strong that he wins 75% of matchups. And if the data shows that, well then, yeah, it matches up, you know? I'd love to see the data too. Don't get me wrong. I love looking at all those types of numbers. But, yeah, I'm not holding my breath on any of that. Funny enough, man, to take it back to Dota, that game is completely, free to play. You cannot buy any sort of advantage there. From a, like, in-game power level, but you can buy a data advantage. you actually can buy data on like who counters who with a higher win rate and things like that. So I don't know. I know there's at least one person at Kabam that loves Dota as much, actually I would say more than I do. And surely they must have thought about something like that. So I wonder if that could ever be a thing. I don't know if it'd be good for MCOC or not, but I wonder if Kabam would ever try to sell that info, actually. Luke, thank you very much for the buck. Hunter Marriott with the hitting that banana butt. I think that's a first-time member right there. Hunter, thank you so much. Just with the pineapple thumbs up, dude. Looks like you already know that you got access to the custom emojis. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Welcome. Please enjoy your ever-growing banana. Thank you, dude. They're going to sell you a champ specifically designed to counter Serpent that is also going to destroy your Hyperions and whatnot. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. The issue with Serpent is you cannot get a great score in Battlegrounds even with a counter, unlike Bullseye, Onslaught, Maestro, almost making him an auto win. I just want him tuned down to about their level. Dude, that is a crazy statement to say you want Serpent tuned down to Bullseye or Onslaught's level. Oh my god. This guy's, Serpent standing on their shoulders is wild. Can you imagine the next defensive champ is going to have instant KO on special 3, only on defense? Well, this is kind of what I'm saying too, is it's not just about this champ, it's about where the game goes as a result of this champ's existence. And do suddenly our other defenders going to be on this crazy level? Because I would say, if you want to say Serpent is a stronger defender than Bullseye, fine, and I agree. But I would say they're similar in the way that I don't enjoy fighting them because I barely get to play the game in a lot of instances. With Bullseye, it's just a hard stop when you push him to special 1. Unless you're using one of the counters. Now, luckily, there's a lot more counters with Bullseye, so I have less of a problem because you should have a pretty good number of counters. It's not even just the mutants that counter him, right? But a lot of mutants do counter him. So you should be able to come up with a counter for that guy. Whereas Serpent, sometimes you're just not going to draft one. And that's as simple as that. You're just not going to draft a good counter. You lost that match. But in both instances, the amount of time that you're actually playing versus the opponent playing, the AI is playing the game more than I am, dude. That feels like a problem. Imagine if every single fight going forward was like that. It just does not feel good. Bullseye best champ. PS, have you seen the Nefaria deep dive? He goes pew pew. He's cool. No, I didn't. I think I saw the animation on Twitter. The Nefaria deep dive. Karate Man is bringing this up. I wonder if we should take a look at it right now. Here we go. Count Chocula deep dive. Mike, you think it's worth watching right now, or were you just bringing it up just out of like a little side note? What are your thoughts? 6-minute video. You don't think it would be extremely skewed? They mentioned over time people will learn new strats. I'd expect all the ban rate, definitely win rate to go down. It only happens with champs that directly counter, you're saying? I don't know that I'm exactly following what you're saying, Luke. Yeah, win rates for the champ should go down over time. Which, by the way, we did get a glimpse at some of this data a long time ago when Kabam, like to see a little bit behind the curtain of what Kabam looks at in the update with Namor, Invisible Woman, Torch, Cole, there's two others. What were the other two? Either way, in that update, we got to see some pretty interesting data. But I mean, fully biased, I think it's worth watching. Well, I didn't mean like ever worth watching or something. I was curious if this was like a counter. All right, let's check it out, man. We might as well. Let's check it out.
What is going on, summoners? We're back here today with another champion deep dive. Today, we're talking about Count Nefaria. So, sit back and relax, because it's time to get into it.
Let's get into it.
Count Nefaria enters the contest full of ionic energy, granting him full immunity to power steal and bleed effects. He also has 90% shock and incinerate resistance.
Dude, the 90% resistance thing, that is so strong. I personally, I really like resistance over immunities or like buffing. So this is cool.
Count Nefaria would perform a well-timed block against a basic attack. He has a 100% chance to evade the hit. Let
me back this up a sec. Hold on. When does he evade?
Resistance. When Count Nefaria would perform a well-timed block against a basic attack, he has a 100% chance to evade the hit.
Never mind.
This also happens when blocking the final hit of a special with a well-timed block. This evade has a cooldown of 11 seconds. But this cooldown is ignored when evading special attacks.
I see. So if you parry all the specials of an undexable champion, you dex it by evading it by parrying it. Oh my god, this game is so confusing for new players. Man, how do you... God, I just hate this Serpent guy. He's such a butthead. How do I dex his specials? Oh, well, you see, little Timmy, what you actually have to do is you have to parry his specials to dex his specials by evading his specials by parrying the specials. You dum-dum.
Evading, Count Nefaria counterattacks, dealing a burst of energy damage and inflicting 2 energy buildup debuffs.
You can't evade me as true focus, Magoo? So that doesn't even work? Oh, dang it. Okay.
The opponent's special is punished after evading it, he inflicts an energy vulnerability debuff for 18 seconds. Now, whenever his opponent fills a bar of power, they gain 15 stored energy. Also, for every 1% of the opponent's max health or power they would gain from a buff or passive, they gain 2 energy. This happens even if the opponent's regen or ability power rates are reduced. And when the opponent reaches 10 stored energy, it's automatically converted into an indefinite energy buildup debuff. Additionally, he gains 10 ionic charges when performing a well-timed block, but he loses 20 when he would be inflicted with a bleed effect by a non-mystic champion. Ionic charges grant a scaling attack bonus, maxing out at 100 charges. They also grant scaling physical, energy, and degen resistance, maxing out at 100 charges. And upon reaching 100 ionic charges, he activates Ionic Overcharge for 17 seconds. While overcharged, all of his attacks are non-contact and deal energy damage instead of physical. Additionally, the opponent's regen and ability power rate are reduced by 95%, and he gains 60% of the power denied in this way. Ionic Overcharge is paused during his special attacks, and he loses 100 once it expires. Now, let's check out his special attacks.
I like his animations, by the way. His outfit here is a little basic, so I don't love the way he looks totally, but animation-wise, I really like him. It's like the block animation, even like the Dex animation, all that.
On the final 4 hits of his special 1, he devours 2 energy buildups. And for each one devoured, he gains 16 ionic charges, 2% of his missing health, and 9% of a bar of power. With the special 2, on activation, he gains a Fury passive for every 10 ionic charges. These last for 16 seconds and max out at 15 stacks. The final hit inflicts an Incinerate debuff for 6 seconds, but against Mystic champions, he inflicts a Plasma instead. Now, the first hit of any special attack deals a burst of energy damage if it's the first or second hit after his counter attack. The special 3.
It really oh no. Oh no. I didn't see that about the special 3 animation. I actually paused it just because it seems like this is like a Doctor Strange Cyclops combined, so it's funny that those two won the vote. But right here at the end of the animation, dude actually has the Home Alone Joe Pesci golden tooth. We gotta knock it out of his face with a paint can, I think.
At the end of this attack, he gains 50 ionic charges and triggers Ionic Overcharge. He also pauses it for 10 seconds. Now, let's check out his signature ability. When awakened, during Ionic Overcharge, he passively regenerates 80% of the health denied to the opponent due to any reduced regen rate. Also, when the opponent gains 20% of a bar of power from a passive or buff within 0.5 seconds, he instantly gains 50 ionic charges and triggers Ionic Overcharge. This also triggers when they gain 8% of their max health within 0.5 seconds for any reason. Now, let's get nefarious in the champion rotation. To begin, perform a well-timed block to evade and start inflicting your energy buildups. Then, parry to gain ionic charges. While on cooldown, you can still evade the final hit of special attacks, and doing so inflicts your energy vulnerability. From here, launch your special 1 to devour those energy buildups and enter Ionic Overcharge. Continue evading and punishing the opponent's specials, and then launch your special 2 to activate your Fury and unlock those big yellow numbers. If the opponent isn't already knocked out, just keep cycling your special 1 and special 2 to keep Ionic Overcharge active and keeping those Furies topped up. Now,
dude,
if you're up against an opponent with passive power gain, triggering Ionic Overcharge will reduce the power by 95%. And grant Nefaria 60% of the power denied in this way. And yes, this includes Mystic Dispersion, and that all makes it a lot easier to launch those giant special 2s and keep those nasty Mystic Defenders at bay.
Dude, just the flow of combat for this guy. This is one of the most fluid looking champs ever. I don't know, dude. God, Kabam kills it with the art. It's insane. Just does not look like a standard MCOC character, even though, you know, by all accounts he is. But damn, dude. Damn. Has that like crazy vampire feel. Dude, they nailed it.
And hey, that 95% reduction also triggers against regen. And with the Despair Mastery, that regen reversal can get pretty potent. Also, his Awakened ability allows him to regen up to 80% of the healing denied to the opponent, keeping that health bar as big and yellow as his numbers. Thank you for watching this.
No, Mike. Thank you. I'm not going to listen to the last few seconds because it's getting late and I need to wrap up the stream. But great breakdown as always, buddy. I kind of want that champ. That dude just looks so fun to play. I'm a sucker for most champs that have any sort of additional power gain, and science champs don't really get access to that all that much. So I kind of want that guy. I'm a little sold. What can I say? You got me. You freaking got me. Nerf Serpent still, but you got me. J Mania, thank you very much for the 5 looties. Say hello, BG. I think perfect fix. But just my opinion is only to Serpent is make his immortality like Herc. That way it's fair. What do you think, Lags? Nah, I don't know what I would change about him. I guess that's kind of where I. Okay, here's the tough part for me. J-Mania, thank you so much for the 2 toonies and the loony. Here's the tough part for me when it comes to this. I love talking about balance. I had a blast tonight talking about all this. Usually, I'm also able to say what I would like to see done differently. In this case, I can't. I feel like I would need to spend more time playing Serpent, playing against Serpent, to know what I would want to see done differently. And I just don't have a fun time playing him with the few counters that I have available. So he's banned every single matchup. Almost every single matchup. You know. And I've definitely beat him before, like, not just beat him, but like won matches where I had to fight against him, but they're just so few and far between. And even then, it's just nail biter of fights where, again, I'm going at it with White Tiger, just hoping that I'm going to be able to throw enough specials to keep his power under control. So yeah, I just end up banning him. I don't have enough play time in general to know what I would want to see done differently with him. And I would highly recommend listening to the other voices in the community that have real suggestions for change about him. This is not one that I can weigh in on. In terms of like what I would like to see done differently, like I said. As far as the rest of it, the feel of thinking this guy just feels like he's on the level of the collector as an end chapter boss. Yeah, that I can confidently say feels like too much for any one champion to have. But I don't know what I would change about him. I really don't. I've heard a bunch of suggestions, but I don't really want to repeat them because I'd probably be pulling from multiple different people of what they said. And if you change too much about Serpent, well, that's also bad. The same way that anytime I wanted champs to be nerfed, like Hercules, I don't want Hercules to be deleted from the game. You know, it just feels like he was too good. I didn't want Scarlet Witch to be deleted from the... I think they went... Here's a better example. I think they went too far with Doctor Strange in 12.0. I don't know that he needed much of a nerf at all. Maybe like the tiniest, littlest bit of a nerf, if that. Maybe he didn't need any. And what they did was like way too far, you know? The key word is balance. It's all about balance. And yeah, the other thing about Kabam, I don't know this for a fact because I can't see everything that is going on for them, but I would imagine that not only do they see like win rates for champs, but they're able to pull enough data to figure out why the win rates are what they are. And then they're able to narrow their focus to be like, oh, okay, it's this one element of the kit that, you know, everyone's dying when Serpent goes immortal or something, right? Just to give an example. Everyone's dying then, and do we really want everyone to die at this point? Maybe not. Let's doing it a little differently. But yeah, I don't know what I would like to see done differently. I would say, for me, that part of the kit is not really what makes him an unfun fight. It's other parts of the kit. So yeah, the whole like special 3 being able to kill him the way that you can with Urk. But okay, you guys, I need to go. It is pretty late at this point. Thank you all for tuning in. This is really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion as well. One thing that I'll always say about any decision that Kabam makes, they give us something to talk about, and I appreciate that. I'm not going to go big head mode today because I am intentionally looking a little bit raggedy, as I have been for the past couple of weeks, honestly, as I continue to not trim this. So we're just going to give the shout out here. It was kind of nice when it was broken, my stream, until I fixed it. I don't really have an excuse, so now I just have to fess up. But yeah, shout out to Static for being tonight's biggest D. And Lags, great video once again, bud. Thank you to the rest of you as well. I will see you guys tomorrow. Night, everybody.